Welcome back to the channel. Today I am headed to U-Pull with my friend Jesse to grab a Sentra front clip for the Pulsar GTI-r, and he's gonna grab a 2JZ. But I have been needing to do this video for a while because I am working with a company called Bluetti, and they make these power backups, or these battery backups, and the one they sent me is like a 2 kilowatt battery backup, which I charged it up last night. I've used it one time before when the power went off at my house so I could play Xbox and watch TV for a whole like 2 days. No issues, works very well. But I also am bringing it because I need to cut that front end, and Milwaukee batteries do last a very long time on drills and stuff like that, but when you're using the Sawzall and the angle grinder, the batteries you just go through them really quick. So this will allow me, while I'm in the junkyard, because they won't allow you to charge batteries or use their electricity at the U-Pull yards, which is kind of weird, but we'll be able to charge your batteries. We'll be able to get all of the stuff cut off of the Sentra. Hopefully it's not wrecked. It looked pretty good from the pictures online, but I'll put the link for this in the description. Go check it out. They're kind of expensive, but if you need a battery backup that's pretty compact, lithium ion, it has a bunch of different features. It actually has these 2 ports that are wireless charging, so if you want to put your phones on there, they're really nice. This is really nice if you want to take it camping. The interface on it is pretty detailed. You have AC, DC, you have all of these extra ports, USB ports. It shows you exactly how much electricity you're using out of the 2 kilowatts. And these things are awesome. So let's throw this in the truck, take it up to Colorado Springs, and then if I find a Tesla broke down on the side of the road, you know, this is another plus. So we got Jesse here. Haven't seen Jesse in a long time. He's been working a lot, but me and him are going to U-Pull, see if they're gonna kick us out. I got kicked out last time because I wouldn't wear a mask.
What?
Yeah.
Junkyard?
Outside. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I was just like, okay, but we're taking his dirty old Dodge over there. I remember when I had one of those back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, I was sad when you sold it. I was like, why? You know what's gonna happen?
So me and Jesse are at U-Pull. I know they're gonna tell me that I can't bring in the demo saw to cut a car, but we're gonna try it anyway.
There you go.
Heck yeah, I use that demo saw. We'll cut something up today.
You know it. Yeah, you too. What's up? Or this bag.
Oh yeah. No worries. Cool stuff.
I saw the come along, I was like, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Do people bring those in and like try and rip on stuff? You're just like,
when they're hoisting engines and
are you trying to die? Thank you. I know, that's crazy. Thank you. Look at that, David. Did you see him? He's like, hey, you're gonna cut some shit out. David, I don't know how you do it, dude. You just have stuff.
Most people have demo saws.
Freaking just giddy it up.
So me and Jesse found the Sentra. He's getting a JZ today, and I think what I'm gonna do, it looks like somebody pulled up on this support. It looks kind of bent, but I'm not gonna end up using that anyway. All I'm using is the lower bar down there and the upper sheet metal that goes up here, but it also looks like it has this added onto it, but it will be a lot better. So I want to still use my factory Pulsar GTI-r one because it unbolts here, and then I think all of this stuff will just spot weld back in. And it looks like somebody already did most of the work getting the engine out, so I think I'm gonna cut it probably like halfway in between the strut towers. Just drop this engine on the ground. This overflow bottle looks the same. The fuse box location looks the same. I think we might be all right.
David here is chops on the quarters here just to get this front end off, and now he's looking for a tire over there so we don't freaking have this fall on us. It's got cushion.
The thing about the older Japanese cars is they didn't have this high strength steel.
Crumple zone, right?
I
think it's free.
Close.
Just shook pretty good right there. There you go.
Okay.
Oh heck yeah, dude. This little end, the plastic piece is freaking strong.
Windshield wiper reservoir.
Chunk of fender. There we go.
Ended up getting the front clip off of this. I think it's a 95 Sentra. Yeah. But I think it's very, very similar. So I do see that this isn't on the Pulsar GTI-r. This upper support is one piece instead of three pieces. But everything below, other than this crash bar, which looks like it took a hit before, hopefully nothing is damaged. It doesn't look like it other than this upper bar. We should be able to get the Pulsar all fixed up and finally get it to a point where I could paint the engine bay. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, dude.
Should be pretty close.
I think it'll work. Because Nissan's not dumb. In the 90s, they made everything modular, you know?
Yeah, I'll probably take that AC condenser out of there because I don't want to pay for it. It doesn't look that great anyway. I need to find an AC condenser, but I'll probably just order a brand new one. And yeah, at least I didn't have to pull the engine out. And now whoever needs a transmission is going to have a really, really easy time. But yeah, we're going to load this up and then get Jesse's 2J. I need to start charging batteries because we're cutting a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to show you how. So you just turn this button, the power button on, and then on this display, it's a touchscreen. You have DC or AC. You just hit AC output on. She's ready to go. And then we'll plug the Milwaukee battery in. She's charging, and it tells you how many watts it's using. So by the time the other two batteries run out, this one should be charged just like it's plugged into the house because this is 2 kilowatts. Came back with a battery needing charged. This one must have just finished. It used 5% of the 2 kilowatts. So let's throw the other battery on. We have a fully charged Milwaukee battery at the junkyard. So Jesse's gonna be pulling this 2J.
Well, David, because I'm just borrowing tools, man.
So Jesse's gonna be pulling this 2J. For some reason, people on Facebook Marketplace think these things are worth like $1,500, $2,000 for an NA 2J. So we're here to get one for 150 bucks.
Seriously, exactly.
I just got a cord support for the Pulsar for 50. And he's gonna start off by doing some Sawzall chopping in the drive shaft. Somebody already gave the headers a Sawzall and the cats off of here, so we're already ahead, Jesse. No, do it up front by the
like crash this thing
by the tranny.
Yeah.
Just don't kill yourself. Like I almost tried to do. The 2JZ on the ground, and we're just gonna undo the transmission, slide it forward, get it off the cross member, load it onto the cart, and we'll have a $150 TJ. The clip from the Sentra loaded up, and then we got that JZ pulled. Not sure what's wrong with it. It has a bunch of mud. It might have hydro locked, or it could have, you know, there's a lot of oil on that VVTi gear, which, Jesse, I would just wrap that around the engine back to itself.
Okay.
Because that's not really gonna do anything. I guess it might, but it's still slide back and forth. But so maybe the VVTi gear made the timing belt slip, but I think this is an R154 out of a 7M, which there's not really a way to tell. I know it's not a FC tranny. It has to be. It's not, definitely not a 2J bell housing, but I'm pretty sure it's an R box. It looks just like it. It could be out of a Toyota Chuck.
Yeah, W55 or whatever the hell.
I wish there was a way to tell.
The spines they say, but I don't have the picture to look. These upward spines.
So ran into a little problem with not the whole radiator support, but some definitely major pieces. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but this came off of a B14 Sentra, which the Pulsar is an N14. Technically, it's an RNN14, which kind of made me think that they were 100% the same, but I was almost more leaning towards a B13, but they didn't have one at the, I haven't been able to find one at the U-Pull yards. So the only difference that I see, and it's a pretty big deal, is obviously this upper piece, which doesn't matter, this piece, which doesn't matter, but the headlight mounting, everything is pretty similar right here. This is a little bit different, but this mounting is different. So on the Pulsar, you can see this one right here is raised up, and this hole, and it's a little bit higher, this hole is in the correct position, that's in the correct position, it's just not high enough out, but this is too high up. So this whole piece right here will not work, and hopefully I could figure something out. If I could find a B13, it would be better. This whole lower piece is perfect, but if I could order the whole core support, it comes all as one piece, which is really nice. So it's this piece already spot welded to all this upper stuff, and it just would make it a lot, you know, a lot nicer install. I wouldn't have to spot weld so much stuff together. I'm gonna see if I could actually find, so I only paid 50 bucks for this, which, you know, I was really hoping it would work. If I can't get this to work, it's still not 100% of a waste, because I needed this fender well right here, because they cut that piece out right here, so I could replace that, which will be really nice. But I'm not going to worry about replacing that until I replace the core support, because that is sandwiched right in between, as you can see right there. So it connects down here. So it wasn't 100% of a waste, but we have maybe something ready for the Pulsar, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, all the mounting on the Pulsar right here for the hood latch support, underneath for the engine mounting, and everything coming over here looks relatively the same. Down here it doesn't have, I guess that's on the inside, it's kind of different right there. Oh no, it's right here. So there is a nut on the back of that, so that's the same. So really the only difference is, as you can see right here, and I think this is the exact same if I could find a B13 Sentra, just this upper bar is different. So as you can see, you know, these are closer together, these are the same level, that's raised right there. I wouldn't even have to replace this piece if they didn't cut this out. So I think what I'm going to do is continue to try to find the correct piece up here, and if I could even just find this upper piece on both sides, because both of them are cut, and then I could just drill spot welds and spot weld everything back together. But until that is found, I'm just going to kind of wait to start replacing this stuff. As you can see down here, they cut a hole here for intercooler piping, I think too, or maybe the intake, I'm not exactly sure, but all of this will be nice because they'll be all replaced, all the same, which is going to be really nice. So then we can get the engine bay painted and finally get it ready to go. And another reason I was really looking, leaning more towards that it was the same as the B14 was because these frame horn / lower control arm mounts really look the same on the B14s compared to the B13s. So we'll see what happens. I may even check out a G20 really quick to see if there is. I don't think we have any G20s anymore, but I think maybe they might be the same. It's kind of hard having JDM cars that have rust. Unfortunately, there were some differences between the B14 and the Pulsar GTI-r, which is an RR and N14. And I think the B13 Sentras are exactly the same, minus the top of the radiator support, which isn't that big of a deal. So I'm gonna have to look at a B13. Unfortunately, like I said, there wasn't one at the U-Pull yard, or I would have cut that one off. Much rather cut that one off. But there are some parts that I could use. So I think I'll be able to use that bottom support, but I'm gonna try to find a B13 first, or I would much rather find a Pulsar GTI-r one, because then I wouldn't have to come and drill the spot welds out of this, because I still want to utilize this split upper top of the radiator support, because they are a little bit different. So they just have bolt holes instead of just being one whole piece. Actually, I think they're just spot welded here instead of being able to bolt on. So we'll figure this out. It's not a total waste, like I said. I could use that bottom wrap all the way up to those buckets. If I really wanted to, I could just graft this in, pretty much just cut it off straight here, and then just TIG it, grind it down, and be perfectly fine. I'd much rather not do that. I'd really rather find a Pulsar GTI-r front clip, but it's not 2005 anymore, and there used to just be a ton of them for sale that Japanese importers would import, and you just get the the engine and the whole front clip, which I would much rather have that, because I need a few parts on the interior. I'm gonna end the video here. Super pumped that I still got that B14 clip. Jesse got that 2J. Both were really cheap. I got that for 50 bucks. He got the 2J for it was 150, and then $150 core charge for 300 bucks. Not a bad deal. But if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.